What's the deal with Doug Ford? Is he a baddie?
So the problem with Doug Ford is that like a lot of people will be like, oh well, he's our Trump. He's not our Trump. Doug Ford, and I did a whole video on this. Doug Ford fundamentally has daddy issues, and that is kind of where a lot of his desire to be loved by the rich and powerful come in. So Doug Ford's father was an MP or MPP, sorry, under Mike Harris, who was probably the worst premier in Ontario history, second only to Doug potentially.
Yeah.
Um, and yeah, and his brother was the mayor of Toronto, as many people internationally would know him as the crack smoking mayor, although I really don't like to demonize Rob's addiction. The problem is that Doug Ford himself, according to Globe and Mail reporting, was a hash dealer when he was in high school, and the Ford family has a long history in drug dealing and crime. So they act like they're the tough on crime people. They are these Republican style conservatives. They are very proudly pro Donald Trump. He says that he would never waver and he would always support Donald Trump. His wife and his daughters were wearing MAGA hats and flying American flags when Trump was elected and during his inauguration. So Ford tries to present himself as an everyman, and he does a really good job at that. He's really good at retail politics. When he was a city councilor, if you had a pothole that needed to be filled and you called his phone number, he would make sure that the city came over and did it. So when we talk about Ford as a politician, I am sure that as a city councilor, he was, for the individuals, a great city councilor. The problem is that his type of retail politics and folksy behavior, when it's escalated to the provincial level, enables his poor behaviors. It allows him to get away with a lot of the abuse. Like he really is there for his billionaire developer buddies. The 413 highway that he tried to push through was only going to save people on average 30 seconds on their commute. It was going to cost us billions of dollars paid through the Greenbelt, destroy farmland. And it turns out that the majority of the properties that were owned along the Greenbelt were owned by developers who either attended his daughter's stag and doe or were at his daughter's wedding. So like it's very easy to keep piling on the layers of corruption. Like when I say that I made a whole video just on his family's history of crime, I literally didn't even talk about the stuff that he did while he was in office. And I'm doing a video right now just about the Greenbelt, and I am already finding myself up to the limits of how long I want the video to be without mentioning literally every scandal that was involved, including them moving the boundaries around golf courses that were owned by his conservative MPP's parents, or different donors who basically said, hey, move this thing because I have a buddy who owns this parcel of land and it'll make it more valuable. Like literally they have evidence of this, and there's RCMP investigations into all of this. So like, once again, I don't want to call him our Trump because they're really not the same in that regard. But he is the traditional sleazy businessman, used cars salesman who was born into a wealthy family and has pretended that he's just like some average everyday person who has realistically has the reading level of a potentially second grader. Like he's not. I don't want to say he's dumb.
Evidence of that.